In the landscape of May 2026, when we think of country music royalty, one name still echoes like a warm summer breeze: Kenny Rogers. He was the gambler, the man with the silver beard and the velvet voice who taught us all when to hold 'em and when to fold 'em. But as we look back through the vintage lens of his incredible career, the story of his final days is a perfect, yet heartbreaking, reminder of the human behind the legend. Kenny Rogers didn't just sing songs, he narrated the lives of millions. From Lady to Islands in the Stream, he was a master of the human touch. However, his final chapter was written far away from the bright lights of Nashville, in a quiet, intimate setting that many fans never got to see. 1. The graceful exit. In 2017, Kenny did something that many superstars find impossible. He chose to walk away. He didn't wait for the world to grow tired of him. Instead, he staged a perfect farewell tour, culminating in a star-studded Nashville send-off. This wasn't about a clash with the industry. It was about his family. Kenny was a father to twin boys, and he famously said he wanted to be there for their big moments. Even then, the hidden truth was that his health was beginning to decline. He was struggling with mobility, but he performed with the same vintage spice and dignity that had defined him for 6 decades. He knew his time on the stage was nearing its end, and he wanted to fold his hand while he was still on top. 2. The final quiet days. By 2020, as the world was entering a global tragedy of isolation, Kenny's own world was shrinking. He spent his final months under hospice care at his home in Georgia. Unlike the mass-produced celebrity deaths we often see in the news, Kenny's final days were remarkably private. He was surrounded by his wife, Wanda, and his children. The heartbreaking part for fans was the timing. He passed away on March 20, 2020. Because of the state of the world at that time, there was no massive public funeral, no stadium-filled tributes. He slipped away quietly, a perfect gentleman to the very end, leaving a world that was too distracted to give him the immediate, thunderous standing ovation he deserved. My opinion, the gambler's ultimate win. I honestly believe that Kenny Rogers' final days were his most perfect performance. In my opinion, we live in a culture that demands legends burn out in the spotlight. But Kenny chose a different path. He chose dignity. He realized that the most important gamble isn't fame or fortune. It's the time you spend with the people who call you dad or husband instead of superstar. He spent his final days exactly where he wanted to be. While it breaks our hearts to know he's gone, there is something deeply human and beautiful about a man who conquered the world and then decided that a quiet room with his family was the only prize worth keeping.